What's up, guys? Gary with self.dev. It's what, 9:40 on Saturday morning. Just got back from the gym, and we are going to finish this Wordle clone. I'm calling it Myrtle for my Wordle. Turning the volume down a little bit here. If the volume is off, or if I need to make any adjustments, just let me know in the comments. So this is continuation of what we were working on last night. Just building a clone of Wordle. Had to do this for an interview, and I was nervous and did horrible. So now I'm doing it on a live stream. And then I'm going to edit it, chop it up, and make it like into a nice little video where it's not just me kind of hacking my way through this. So if you want to see the full video, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, and it will notify you when I get the full version of this out, edited, and nice and cleaned up. But until then, we're just going to do this raw and live. So let's review where we're at from yesterday. We've got our game board. We need to add a key for that, and we can type letters. And if we get to 5 letters, it stops letting us put input in. It still detects the key events, but it stops putting new stuff in. We need to add a backspace listener next to remove letters. So I think that's the next step we're going to do. And then after that, we need to be able to press enter to go to the next row and start typing in the next row while preserving the state of this row and the future rows. So that's where we're at. Also, we need to validate the input when they press enter too, but that'll probably be the third step. So right now we're gonna do the backspace part. I don't need to console log the letter guessed anymore. We're gonna take that out. We do need if E key press equals backspace, then we want to, we don't need to splice that. We just want to pop the most recent thing off. Actually, that's gonna return what we popped off, right? Because letters guessed is an array, and we're using an arrow function, so it's going to return the letter we popped off. So I don't think that'll work. I want to test that just to make sure, though. We need to close that curly brace. Then we go back here, refresh, and then we do TES or T. We'll just type in random letters, hit backspace, and it resets the whole thing. Yeah, so it's just returning the last letter, so we do need to do the splice thing. Will that work? That's trying to splice the 0th index, right? We needed to get the... Is that gonna work? It does. Okay, cool, never mind. Where did my music go? I'm not playing a playlist. I like this electro swing stuff. I did start my stream, right? Alright, cool, I did. Excellent condition. Yeah, we're good to go. Let's turn that down a tad bit more. All right, cool. So that was the next step we wanted to do. Where did I have my to-do list? Allow user to move on to the next row. I guess I didn't have a to-do list thing for the backspace part, but we're gonna figure out how to let the user move on to the next row now. So what we were trying last night is we're checking if they press enter and if letters guessed length is 5. Then we want to console log enter has been pressed, and we want to set the row word guesses. I need to improve the name of that. But that's that's an array that contains all of the words they've guessed, and then we're going to increment the number of game guesses, so the number of rows they've gone through basically. But right now, when we press enter, that doesn't get console logged, so this is not getting entered. So let's do, actually, why am I not just doing this? Sources, next static, I assume it's in Webpack pages. Oh, is this like minified and stuff? Development, build, where's my code? We want to check in row, right? Yeah, there we go, cool. Let's shrink that side, and then we want to put a line break there, and then we press enter. Okay, so we get here. The key is enter, and letters guessed is only 2, right? So that's why we're not getting in there right now. So that makes sense, cool. So let's turn off that, move forward, tests, and then we press enter, or we need to click there. We need to press enter now. Nope, sorry. Okay, we got our line break. Focus is back in this window. We press enter. It hits this. Key presses enter. Letters guessed dot length is only 2. It only has 2 in there. Why? Am I not using the right word there? Letters guessed. Odd. Because every time we type a letter, if letters guessed dot length is less than 5, and alphabet includes the key, so if that letter we pressed is in this alphabet, then we want to add the letter we guessed to the letters guessed array, right? Which should increase its length. But when we type, we're not getting the console log setting letters. So let's put a line break here too. Let's unpause those, move forward, and then we want to reinstate that. And then if we type a letter, that gets hit. Letters guessed dot length is only 2. Can I go up to see our hook and what's in our hook? Interesting. Why does that only have 2 letters in there? So we press T. Letters guessed has nothing in it because we're about to add the letter, right? So let's step forward. We go to console log. So we should console log setting letters, right? Because we're in here. If we step forward, it gets to that next one. It console logged it. And then it adds it to the state, right? So let's move forward. We get here. We look at letters guessed. And letters guessed now has T. So now it's got to render everything to get that in the block here. So just an endless loop? No, it finished. Okay, cool. Okay, so there's 1 letter in here right now. We press E. It does the same thing. Right? No, now this has nothing in it. Is it because row is getting re-rendered? Right? Also, when our breakpoints are off, it doesn't console log setting letters, does it? Oh, it does. Okay, cool. That's the part I got to last night. Okay, so it's setting letters guessed. We're spreading the current letters guessed and adding in the event key, which is the letter we want to add, right? So that's in there now. And then these 2 parts won't matter when we're pressing keys. In here, let's add a p tag, and we're just gonna do letters guessed dot length. If I can spell it right. And then now in here, it's gonna say the length of letters guessed. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's not right. Hold on, let me look at this for a sec. Why is it... Letters guessed length is not updating. Does that still work if I put it there? We don't want to console log the letter. This is going to be called handle. Actually, we need to copy that. And then we're just going to replace it here. Wait, no, we need a log key press. This is going to be handle key press. And then we're going to swap that out on all three of those places. So that's named a little bit better. That still works, but we still get past that. And I need to Google that real quick. So actually, why are we going to a new tab? Why don't we just go to our current window here? React hooks array length not changing correctly. Consider when you update state that you're not able to log it instantly. Yeah, I know that I'm not able to log it instantly, but when use effect runs again, do I need to add that hook to the dependency array? Or this? So it should be inside here, is what it's saying. Now what do you complain about? Dependencies, alphabet, letters guessed, some games. Let's just try adding these. What else do we need to add in here? Set num of games guesses, set num of game guesses. Letters guessed. We don't need these in middle two, do we? React hook effect has unnecessary dependency, but it said add that a second ago, huh? All right, so we have all those. Now do you work correctly? All right, we press enter. Okay, huh? Why does that happen? Right, so use effects run when the component renders, and then with everything in this dependency array, it's going to run again whenever one of these things changes. And because letters guessed changes after this, we need to run it again to get the new length, I'm guessing is why that's happening. I still can't remember. My mind's still blown by how much React I forgot, because I'm realizing when I was at American Express, I never, like, I was just maintaining, debugging, and adding features to stuff that already existed. I wasn't creating new stuff, and I feel like that made me forget a lot. So now if we press backspace, it still removes that same one. Okay, so that's working, and we're console logging enter pressed. Okay, cool. So we know we can move to the next row now. Now we just need to preserve the state of the previous rows, right? Now we do that here when we set the word in the parent components array of row word guesses. So now here we need to do some logic and say row word guesses dot length, right? And then if row word guesses dot length equals the current index, no. We just need to use the word that's in here and access it by the index, right? So if we put index here, And then in here, I feel like previously guessed word would be better for this. Set previously guess. Where else is that in here? Okay, cool. Set previous guess letter. What are we listening to right now? We need to skip this one. I like the electric swing feel, but that sounded like circus music. Right, so we need to pass down the I think we need to check here and see if that even exists, right? So now we're gonna give each row the specific word it should display if they've guessed a previous, if they have previous guesses. So now we needed to check if they have, if the row they're on has a corresponding, if they've already used the row they're on to guess a word, then we need to display that word instead of letting them add letters. So down here, if it's an active row, then we want to display the letters they've guessed. Else, we need another conditional statement here, which is, I don't like nested ternarys, so well, that should be handling that, right? Let's get the index. If num of guesses greater than 0, we're going to return the row word guess, because that's going to give us a single word, right? From the index. Else it's going to return that. Right? So let's... No, it's not maintaining the previous word. Why not? Index is never used in there. We don't need index. We don't need to pass that. We just need to invoke that function. And then we need to, let's so, not console log. Let's go to these sources here and down in this function. So we're going to, where is the pause? I don't need any of those right now, so we're just going to step through that. And then this should, well, this only matters after we move on to the next row, right? So let's go ahead and enter 5 letters. So we'll do tests. We'll re-enable these. We'll press enter. Number of guesses is undefined. It's undefined there too. What is it in the parent? It's num of game guesses, because we renamed that. And that's what we need to use down here too. Now if we refresh, turn off these breakpoints, do test, or step through, enter. That's not what we want. I mean, it's kind of what we want. It's putting the word in that row just too many times, right? So we need to, I guess we are going to need index, right? And this is going to need to get, I'm going to shorten this to I, because it's kind of like, you're going to, like, people know that I is index, in is num, right? And then we need to grab the I from that word to store it. So we'll go here, we'll refresh, because I don't know if there's, I don't think there's actually errors, huh? There is, okay. Where is that? Line 57? Line 57. That's getting I, right? Oh, that also needs I because index is no longer defined. That needs I because index is now I. Okay, so now if we refresh this, we do test, press enter. Okay, we need to, can we backspace? Okay, cool. And then last, cool, so we can get 5 words in there, but whenever you press enter, it doesn't reset the row. So what do we need to do to fix that? Do we need to set letters guessed equal to an empty array? Refresh. Breakpoints are still off. Coder. No. That one's feeling too circusy as well. So when we press enter, is active row should be true. So it should get letters guessed and get the letter for each one, right? In here, let's no, we're not console logging. We're going to this. We're disabling those breakpoints because I don't think we need those, but we do. I do want to check this value. So let's press enter. Actually, let's refresh that. And then we're going to turn that off until I get 5 letters entered here. So tests. We're going to restart this music too because I need to go through and like prune this playlist. Okay, so we got that. Now when we press enter, what is the value? So this is now empty, right? We have tests as our row word guess. Let's check this function too, because theoretically we should be on the second row now, because let's also go and see, is active row is false? Okay. No, that's not right. We'd expect that to be true now. So let's go look at that logic in the parent component real quick. How do I find... Do I just need to console log something from index? Is that light going out? Huh. That's weird. They're like LED lights. I thought they're not supposed to go out for a long time. Let's refresh that. Turn off these breakpoints here while everything initially renders. Okay, we're good. And then we've got our index. Now we go over that file too. Good. And then we needed to check our is active row logic. So we need to see if it's returning true or false after we put in the first row and move to the second. So we'll do tests, press, now we need these on, right? Now we press enter. So is active row index is 0, right? So that's the first row here. Yes, we expect that to turn false because that's no longer the active row, right? And then we go here, and now we're returning true because index is 1, so this should be the new active row. And then inside of our row here, we need to check this, so this should not be getting entered into right now. Because if is active row is true, then we should be pulling from letters guessed, which we're also going to throw a breakpoint there because I want to see what letters guessed is. It should be empty right now. So we're going to press that. And then now we're returning false. So this is for the other 3 rows, right? Did it not hit this part? That's odd. False, false. Okay. So is this for, what is I right now? I is 0, so this is for the first row, which is why we're setting the previous word here. Okay. Yeah, set previous guessed letter. Index is still 0, so this is, I mean, this is the tile index now, but we're in this function, which is what we'd expect. So now this should probably go through 5 times, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's setting, that should have been setting the word here, but we're in it again, and the index is 0. Can I go back? Because there's not a way to go back, huh? Step out of current function, step into... Oh, that light going on and off is weird. I'm just gonna turn that off now. Unless there's like a ghost in my apartment or something. So we shouldn't be in here again. That's weird that we're in here again. Now we're on 1. Is active row is false. Why is it false now? Because it should be true right now. In index here. Alright, so for it's on this again. Is active row is false. What determines this row's number? Are we giving it anything to know? Yeah, row number. So let's console, not cross origin, whatever. Console log is active row, row number, and letters guessed. So we're gonna move that down. What is it? Control? No, it's not. There we go. Okay, so let's refresh. Uncheck those. Uncheck those. Refresh. Okay, tests. Look at our console. Okay, so we can see that the first row is active. We press enter, and then what? First row is now false. Second row is true, but it has that still full. But it is true, so that's the active row, so that part's right. It's just still got letters in here. Because we need to do cleanup stuff, right? So should we do that in like... What's up, Div? Pretty good. How's the new job been? I'm realizing I forgot. a lot of React while I was working at American Express for some reason. At least that's what I'm blaming it on. Set letters guessed. We're building a Wordle clone. But for some reason, when we get to the second row, it's still maintaining the letters from the first. So letters guessed still has to have stuff in it, even though we're setting it to an empty array. If enter and dude, yeah, I started learning C# a little bit too, just because like a lot of jobs I'm applying to seem to want that. So I built like a little C# to-do list the other day. I'm planning on connecting it to set up an SQL database on Azure and trying to connect it to that. Building anything fun to learn it? Letters, yes. Okay, I need to focus for a sec. Why is this first one empty and the second one's not? What's another way I could approach this? In here, we need to check if, no, not in there. Probably higher up, like here. We need to see if is active row. No, that's not what we want to check. How would we want to? We need to check if maybe I do need to pass down the whole guess row array. No, this will be empty. So we'll say if is active row and row word guesses, because that's going to be empty, so that'll be falsy, so we need to check the inverse or not that, and then if it is, we need to set letter guessed to empty. Right. Tests, press enter. And now the first one's not even getting set to empty like we wanted. Huh. What is the third thing we're console logging? Letters guessed? Yeah, and that's an array. I guess we can probably check is active or if is active row, then we need that event listener. This isn't going to solve the problem, but oh my gosh, did that solve the problem? It did solve the problem. Huh. I did not expect it to. Now what do you need in here? Is active row. So we'll stick that in here too, just to make the warning happy. Yeah, I feel like it's underrated too. Okay, so now we can successfully move to the next row. We can't backspace out of the previous row, but we can backspace out of our current row all the way from any number of letters. Okay, cool. So if we press enter and there's no letters, we're still in that same row. Cool, so that's all functioning correctly so far. So on our little to-do list here, allow user to move on to the next row, done. Now we need to validate the letters, right? And then adjust the tile state depending on if the letters incorrect, correct, or partially correct, right? So I think that should be done in row, right? Because this is getting the, is this getting correct word? It's not, so let's go ahead and pass down correct word. That's gonna be that. And then in here, this isn't secure. Like, they can just look through the code and get the correct word, but you can do that in Wordle right now anyway. I've done that before, so I feel like it's still valid to do this. Correct word, and then we need to validate the guess, right? And we'll do that on enter. We'll call a function called validate guess. And I guess we'll define that in here. Const validate guess. And that's gonna be an arrow function. And then we'll have let's go ahead and close that, add an extra space there, and then we're gonna say for each letter in correct word, is this right? If letter equal letter guessed index. Oh wait, no, check guess is up here. I don't know if I need check guess there. So we're going to loop through each letter in the correct word, and if the letter equals letters guessed index for, let's say our word's 5s, so we have F, and they've guessed blue, right? We're also going to need to pass down tile state, right? And that's just going to be that. How should we do that? It's only been 40 minutes. Sweet, I feel like we're making way more progress than yesterday. I'm remembering stuff. We're gonna minimize that because I don't need that right now, or this. I'm also gonna remove this because that's not the point. That's not what we want. We need, oh my gosh, I need it to not recommend stuff right now. There we go. Correct word for each letter. And then I want to make this I, just because I don't like using index. It's too long. If letters guessed contain, or includes, it's includes, right? Includes letter, then we want to return. No, then we want to check if it's in the correct position, right? So if letters guess includes the letter, then we know it's in there, so it's at least partially correct. Now we need to say if letters guessed feel like this is backwards. I feel like I should be using that. Letters guessed I. So that'll check if they're at the same indexes, right? Then we need to, then we know it's correct place and letter. Else it's just a correct letter but not place. Else it's incorrect letter, right? Not really. We need to loop through letters guessed, not correct word. That way we're only looping the number of times we need to, otherwise we're looping 5 times each time, even if they've only guessed one letter. So now if they guess, well, I guess they're always gonna submit this with 5 letters, so it doesn't matter now that I'm thinking about it more. But letters guessed for each letter, we're gonna loop through and say, okay, does the correct word include this letter that they've guessed? If it does, we're gonna see if the correct words, if the index of the correct letter is in the same place as the letter they've guessed. If it is, then we know it's the correct letter and place. If it's not, then we know it's at least a correct letter, so it's going to be yellow. And then if it's not, but it's in the letters they've guessed, then it's an incorrect letter. Okay, cool. So that part works. So this is just going to be validate word, actually, is what we're going to call it. And that's going to where is set previous guess? What is this using? This is using row word guess I. So this is also going to need the index there because we need to set the state of the tiles for the previous words as well. There is definitely a better way to handle this. This feels wrong, but I make it work, make it right, then make it better, right? That's what I usually do when I code stuff. So now this is going to get I, which is the index of the current tile we're on. Is that what it needs, or does it need? It doesn't need that. It needs the I. It needs the current row we're on, right? But that is going to be the invoked version of this, so it's going to be the result, not the reference to the function. So this needs what? Row number. So we also need to see. Hold on. We need to do. We're going to say let word to check equal. We're just going to initialize that for now, and then we're going to say if row number sometimes I don't like Copilot because it makes me assess things that aren't actually what I need. Like, I don't think I actually need that. But I had to stop and think and see, hey, like, is this what I need? So now what am I trying to do again? We're trying to determine if we need to check the current word that they're submitting or the previous word to set the state of the tiles. So if the row number no, we need row word guessed. So if that's truthy, then word to check is going to be that. Else it's going to be letters guessed. We don't need to join it, right? We need to split it, and then we need to split this as well, because that's going to be a string word. And we need it as an array because we're looking through each piece here. Let's console log letter guessed. That'll work. And then we'll console log correct letter. And then lastly, we'll console log the incorrect letters, right? So this is run on every tile. So the first time we enter 5 letters and press enter, that should run and it should tell us. I also need to adjust that. So word to check, that needs to be here, right? We don't need to do that, we need this. Is that right? We need to set that to this. I think that might be it, right? Oh, I accidentally clicked this so much. Refresh. Okay. Test. Incorrect letter, incorrect letter, incorrect letter. Okay, that shouldn't be running every time, actually. That should only be running on validate, right? And that's because instead of calling it, instead of invoking it in use effect, we're invoking it for each particular tile. We actually don't need to use letters guessed at all, right? We just need to get the row word they've guessed, because even on enter, that's going to move the next row and we'll end up validating the previous row anyway, right? So we don't need that here. We need that in what? Do we need an array of the tile states in this one, I think, right? So we'll say, I don't need to console log that anymore, but we'll say const tiles states, set tiles states to an empty array. I don't think that needs to run there. I think it needs to run every time this component is mounted, right? So if we just run it there, row word guesses is not the array, it's just the word, right? So we don't need that either. We just need that. And then we need to find that, replace that with row word guess. And then I need to adjust that with that. And then this needs to be row word guess. And this actually does need to still be set row word guesses, because this is a singular word, whereas this is setting the array, or incrementing the, adding to the array that contains the words they've guessed, right? Yeah. Okay, so and then this is going to be tile states I think that's what we want. but we don't have any CSS or anything implemented to adjust the tiles states. So we're gonna say empty background red. No, not empty, sorry. Incorrect. Partially correct. And then correct is gonna be background green. And then in here, we need to I need to adjust the names on that for sure, because that's gonna get confusing. Not that, we need a temp tile states array. And then in here, this needs to temp tile states array to push correct. Next, we will do temp tile states array push partially correct. And then lastly, we will push temp tile states array incorrect. So now each particular tile will display, default is going to be empty. Then it'll display whether if they've guessed a word and that tile has a letter, it'll display whether it's correct, partially correct, or incorrect. Where do we need to call this? Does this need to be inside the use effect? Because when do we want this to run? And that's validate word. Is that why? Yeah, we don't need that in there, right? This just needs to be validate word. And then we need to add validate word to this. And then because that's a dependency on that, it needs to be inside here too. Of course. Okay, so what else do you want in here? Correct word and row word guess. Now, are you happy? No. Unnecessary dependency validate word. Okay, boom. Save. Now in here, oh yeah, we're passing down the correct one, and then in tile, are we implementing that correctly? No, because we're not even receiving that as a prop right now. So we're gonna do comma that. What are you not happy about? Tile state has already been declared. Yeah, I know, but we're gonna get rid of that. So I think that is probably kind of close, right? Right, so in here, we don't need to validate or invoke this. Go up all the way, come on. My mouse scroll wheel is broken and it's the most infuriating thing. I like these, I've got the sideways mouse, like you grab it and your hand's sideways. Because when the flat mouse has started hurting my wrist, and I bought 2 of these. I'm about to buy a third of, they're like Anchor, A-N-K-E-R, but they break frequently. That's annoying. The first one I had for about a year, and it just stopped working. Like I'd replaced the battery, but it would not detect movement at all. I've even taken them apart and tried to fix them, but I don't have any luck. This one, the mouse wheel, when I scroll, sometimes I scroll down and it thinks I'm scrolling up, so it just bounces around and it's annoying. But I'm too lazy to buy a new mouse, so here we are. Invoke that, right? We need to check if row word guess exists, right? So can I just do like a... No? You don't like that? Is it in front? It's in front? Nope, that's not right. If row word guesses, then we want to do this. And we actually should just say real word guesses. Then we can't just invoke that there. Else, no. That works. We don't need that. Don't need that. Boom, boom. Save. So now that's not going to try and run on rows that are empty, right? So now we refresh this, and then we do tests, and then we press enter, and it breaks again. And because that's a string word, and we need to split that with that, and then do for each, and now you'll be happy. Oh! Am I getting old? Do I just need to make my touch things bigger? All right, refresh. Refresh. That's still a thing we're passing out. Row word guess, right? And then that should only get invoked when we call it, right? Why not use regex for alphabet? Because I don't know the regex pattern to match that off the top. Actually, yeah, I don't know the regex pattern to match that off the top of my head, so I could probably just Google that and figure it out, but nah. So we have no row word guesses, right? It's empty, but it's an array, and is an empty array truthy? An empty array or object is a thing, so it's truthy. So we need to check row word guess dot. Well, wait, why is that an array? I thought row word guess was just going to be a single word. Because we're getting row word guesses, getting the index of the thing. Otherwise, we're returning an empty array. Right, okay. So should we just return null? Would that break stuff? I don't know. Let's find out. What is that in that's in row? Set previous guess letter. Yeah, so that's breaking because we changed that, I think. But where is that? That's on row or line 70, so okay, whatever. We're just going to leave that. I don't think it's breaking because of that. I think that's going to break anyway. But we're going to leave that as that, and we'll say dot length. So if it has if it's a string, it's going to have a length, right? And if it's a array, the length is going to be 0, which is false, so it'll do null. So yeah, we're good there. Minimize, refresh, tests, enter. Nothing broke. Cool. But it doesn't look like any colors changed, so it doesn't seem to have validated correctly. All of these are still empty, which is not what we want. Let's do fires. Press enter. No, those are still empty, so those should have state, right? Let's do this. Let's undo all these current breakpoints. Let's add one here, and then inside validate. Let's check when that's called, and then we're gonna check what gets pushed for each one. Let's refresh. It's gonna run every time. Okay, let me at least put in a word first, right? Boom, 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 boom. Refresh. Tests. Now we want these on, right? Because now we should validate now when we press enter. So we press enter. Okay. Do I really want to I need it there so I can see the tile states is an empty array. Okay. Still an empty array. When do we get here? Okay, first one is incorrect. Second one's incorrect. 3, 4, 5. Now we're validating the word again. Okay, yeah, I was running for the other tiles, right? Oh. Duh. Oh my gosh. I want, like, do you ever... you gotta be able to get to a level where you don't make dumb mistakes like this, right? We need to do set tile states to that, and I think that'll fix it, right? So if we turn off our breakpoints now, boom, 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 go up all the way, go up all the way, come on, boom, refresh, tests, enter, okay, nope, didn't work. Correct word dot includes letter. Correct word is a string and includes is an array method, so correct word needs to be split. Dot, remove that other dot. Do I need to change that anywhere else? I don't think so. That is going to be an array of individual things, so that's right. I don't think I need this here anymore because I don't care about that. Save, back, refresh, tests. Now change color. Nope, dang it. Correct word dot split is not a function. Why? Probably because there's some point at which correct word is undefined before we get the API request response back, right? So we need to say if we'll console log correct word and then refresh, and then actually, yeah, by the time we validate it should have correct word. Butio? I don't know what word that is. Correct word dot split is not a function. Am I using I'm invoking split correctly? Oh, because it's in an array already, so we need to access the first item in the array. Yeah, good call. Duh. Tests. No. Why am I using I? It needs to be 0. Refresh. Tests. Enter. Word to check is not defined. Because that needs to be this. I think the rest of that's right. Now you change color. Okay, everything's wrong because the word's floor. It's running infinite times. That's not good. Is tile states a dependency in here? I think we need that there. Okay. Tests. Enter. Maximum depth exceeded. Ooh. Do we need that in there too? No. Huh. Hey, 2 of the letters were not incorrect, but not correct or partially correct, because those didn't change background colors. Interesting. Why are you running an infinite amount of times now? It's because of that, right? How do we make that? Right, we don't need that to, no, yeah, we do need that to automatically run every time, not inside enter, right? So, wish I could play Fallout music while I'm doing this. See what music writes. Alright. It's running infinitely because... Where was that error? Now we've taken it out. We've uncommented it, so we... Is that it? All right, cool. So what is the state of those? Why aren't those colored appropriately? Because we did partially correct instead of partially dash correct, so that needs to be named like a CSS class. So now, let's refresh, and I think we can play our game kind of, sort of. Tests. Okay. Poker. All right. I can't tell what letters those are. P, O, O, and E. So it's got an O and an E, right? But those aren't in this right place. Money. Flight. H. H, O, and E. Not in that order. Heroes. Dang it. There's an S in there too. But so we got it wrong. But it's in the kind of functional state. I need to make sure that at least I need to make sure that the correct part works too, right? So let's go ahead and yeah, we'll console log correct word so I can cheat. Odors. That's not right. Those should all be green. So something's wrong with our check here. Is it even log? O is in there, S is in there, S is in there, none of those other, R is in there, so that should be partially correct. So our check is messed up here. So row word guess is going to be the letters they've guessed for that row. Dot split for each letter in the row. If the correct word includes that letter, then we know it's partially correct, right? Else, if correct word I, which is going to change and should match, right? And that needs to check letter, right? No. It's this. Because that's just going to check the letter we're on, right? But that's what we need to check. We need to check if the letter we're on match is in the same position as the letter we want in the thing. Some of the music in this is just not what I'm looking for. Hold on, what do we need to change here? let's make correct word as array. So then we're checking if the correct word as an array includes that. Oh, wait a minute, right. That needs the 0 index. Okay. Penal. It's all partially correct. But those should all be fully correct. So that got rid of the incorrect part that was broken. But now... Hold on, I gotta lower my desk and sit down real quick. Now we're at an hour. Okay. We've slowed down a little bit on our progress. We're going to get this to where it functionally works, and then I'm probably going to be done for now. I'll probably convert stuff to Tailwind, add TypeScript. What else? Tests, maybe, with Cypress, because I haven't used Cypress before. But I'll probably do that on my own, not streaming. So, yeah. God, this is going to be a lot of video to edit tomorrow. All right, anyway. How do I remove all breakpoints? There we go. We need to check right here because it's not getting into that. And then we'll also check right there. So let's do noons because that's the word, right? So we check if correct word I, which the correct word is noons and I is 0. So we're checking if in equals in. That's true. So we go inside. What? We don't go inside? Why? Because correct word is, we're not using correct word as array, so it's just checking the word, and the word is not equal to in. Tests. Remove all of these, because this works now. All right, cool, cool. We're actually getting green letters. Trugs. All green, boom, we should be done. We should not be allowed to press anything else. So we need something to pop up to say, congratulations, you won. Should we just do an alert? No, that's too lazy. I didn't think we were this close to being done. We're almost done, huh? Validate, row, input, on enter, press, and 5 letters. Okay, we did that. Now if it's correct, we need to show the restart button. So I guess we'll just add a hook here called const game over. I don't care about console logging that anymore. And now in here we'll say game over. Else we want to log this. Actually, what, hold on. So, yeah, we do probably want an H1 here called Myrtle for my Wordle. And then we need to say we need to pass that down and then say if is active row and not game over. Because if it's game over, then we don't want them to be able to input anything else. So let's double check that that works real quick. Game over is not defined. We're passing it down. We're not pulling that out as a prop, are we? Okay. We don't need check guess. Don't know what that was for. We're gonna kill that. I mean remove that because we're on YouTube and we don't want to say that word, right? Save. Now we go back here. We refresh this. Check guess is being passed down even though it's not a thing anymore, so we remove that, and then we got the thing we want right here. Why did it console log no? Tests, okay. Ungat. These are not real words. I don't think these are real words. Okay, cool. So now the game's over, so now we shouldn't be able to press, we shouldn't be able to still do stuff. But we are. Because the event listener's still added from, it's already added, right? So we don't need to check if game over there. We need to check, actually, it should be, we're not setting game over anywhere actually, so we'll say correct count equals 0, and every time they do this, correct count needs to be incremented, and then before we set that, if correct count 5, set game over to true, else don't do anything, and then this needs to be passed down as a function as well from the parent. So set game over, cool. So now if they get it right, the game's state changes to, what do you want now? Game over and set game over? Okay, now you're happy? Yeah? Okay, set game over to true, cool. So now let's try that one more time. Tests, extra. Now we can't press enter and continue. Ha, got it, bet. Cool, so now it freezes the game state basically from a UI perspective. When they have got the correct word, now we need to change game over, do something else, render this. Type annotations can only be used in TypeScript files. Does this need to be in curly braces as well? That is the same thing, right? It's named that. We need a curly brace here to close that, else we're gonna render a p tag that says hi. All right, does that work? Does that render the rows correctly? It does. Tests, facer. I want to remove the numbers before the board. Is that in tile? No, it's in row. Down, go down. That's that there. Now we refresh. Tests. Okay, begot. That's the correct word. Game over. You win. Woo! Cool. So we built Wordle. What did that take? What was it yesterday? 3 hours? And this was... No, it was an hour and a half yesterday, I think. And this was another hour and a half. So 3 hours, basically. I had an hour to build it in the interview yesterday. So 200%, 300% over? I don't know, the math on that. Whatever. But yeah, cool. Hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, I'm going to chop this up into a more digestible bit. So if you want to see that, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and it will notify you when I put that out. This is done, right? Like, we've got Wordle functioning. So yeah, I'm good on this. That's one of my goals for the day. Cool. If you got any questions, let me know in the comments below, or come join Discord and ask me there. We've also got the SelfTaughtDev subreddit if you want to come hang out there, ask questions. The Discord's kind of dead right now, so I mean, I'm trying to figure out how to fix that. I'm not putting a whole lot of energy to it right now, but I need to figure out how to fix that. If you have any ideas on how I can make the Discord more active, open to that. That would be great. Come help me figure out how to make that more engaging. What else? If you want to get my resume template, the one I used to get my first dev job, the dev market is kind of trash right now from what I've seen, but if you want that, that's on the self.dev Learn Worlds site. Look in the description. I'll have a link to where you can get that. My HTML course is also there if you want to learn HTML and CSS. I'm working on one for, I haven't started working on it yet. I'm kind of planning for one for JavaScript and Git, but those aren't out yet. Those are there. There's also a few projects on the Learn Worlds place as well. But yeah, I think that's about it for this one, guys. So like I said, if you got any questions, feel free to hit me up. And I will catch you in the next one. Peace.